talk about this game is about the quarterbacks, running backs. There needs to be more talk about the trenches. Do you feel like this game is going to be one offensive, defensive line who's going to win the line of scrimmage? How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to the trenches. You know, if you talk about Kansas City's offensive line, like my X factor, they been asking what's my player X factor. It's not a player, it's a group. It's the Kansas City offensive line. The detriment to Eagles last year was the defense. Offense scoring up all these points, the defense is horrible. Now they got the #1 defense in the league. So where's the weakness come from? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they got young, athletic, physical, fast defensive linemen that can stop the run, they can rush the passer. Pat has been hit and sacked more than he's been hit and sacked since he's been a starter with Kansas City. The great equalizer is Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. Great at manipulating the offensive line, getting the defense to do what they want, and drawing it up. But at some point, that offensive line, just once, is going to have to hold up. In a key moment in the game, will they be able to do it? The Chiefs' offense is very methodical. They play dominoes, is what I call it. They nickel and dime you. 5 here, 10 here, maybe we get a 15. If we get a 20, excellent. We slam the table with the domino. But they don't care about that. And Patrick Mahomes up here is the best we've seen him. But just like we seen in 2017, when Brandon Graham got this sack on Tom Brady, he needed them to block one time, and they didn't get it done. Sack, fumble, game over. So I wonder if they will be able to hold up when that time comes.
When you look at this matchup on the offensive defensive line, who do you think has the edge? Because I know the Chiefs, they got a little bit of an issue with their left tackle, right? I think Thuney's getting bumped out to left tackle.
Yeah, Joe Thuney's an all-pro left guard. Now he's playing left tackle, yeah.
And so they're having to kind of make it work. Do you think that gives the advantage to the Philadelphia defensive line? And they got a lot of young dogs.
I think the advantage is Philly, period. Philly's overall top to bottom a better team. Then you can go position for position where they might not be better, you know, but Philly, top to bottom, player for player, talent for talent, number for number, is the better team. Better team doesn't always win. Philly has the speed, K-Coach speed, but there's no substitution for experience, and that's what Kansas City has. So if I'm going advantage Philly, but what hasn't the Chiefs seen? They've seen everything. They've seen great lines. They've seen great running backs. Played Christian McCaffrey last year. They've seen hot young quarterbacks and Brock Purdy. They've seen, what haven't they seen? They've seen it all. So yeah, they have the advantage in talent and the team overall being better, but that experience, man, there's no sub for it.
You mentioned Brock Purdy. I'm just curious, like, what are your thoughts from what you've seen from afar?
From Brock Purdy?
Yeah, from Brock Purdy.
He's improving. He's definitely improving. I think with all the injuries this year, we've seen a lot more flaws than what we have seen. You know, I used to say he's riding shotgun in a Bugatti. That's what I used to say about him. I think he's improving, definitely getting better. But I think this year will be a telltale with, after the injuries, how do they shake back? And I talked to Trent Williams, obviously University of Oklahoma, and he said what people don't see is what make Brock Brock. So hopefully that work ethic pays off, and he can start to become one of those guys where people can stop saying he's riding shotgun in the Bugatti.
So basically Trent is saying he's got the intangible quality that it takes to play the position at the highest level.
He don't think people he said this is a very complex and dynamic offense that in order to be the quarterback of it, you got to be extremely smart. And he said a lot of the plays that Brock Purdy have made is because of how smart he is. And he trusts him for sure.
I want to kind of get back to the trenches because I love being able to talk trenches with guys like you. When you're getting ready for a pass rush move, how are you thinking of your plan? Is it starting from the first snap and you're trying to bait maybe the guard or center to like power, maybe hit them with a counter, maybe club or swim or something? How do you set up your pass rush plan as specifically an interior defensive lineman?
Mine started on Tuesday. Monday evening. Play that Sunday game. Get the film added Monday morning, afternoon. I started watching film on the next opponent Monday evening. All the way up until right before the game, like literally before I go on the field. That's how you put your plan together. I remember I said something about winning rushes in practice. A lot of people practice, we do pass rush period.
Yeah.
And then when we do team, a lot of people practice beating the guy they're in front of in practice. You'll never be successful in the game trying to beat that guy in front of you because he don't block like him. So why are you working on something that beats him? You just went against him for 2 months in training camp. You've been going against him all season. He might even be a practice squad guy. Why are you trying to beat him? When the ones go against each other in pass rush period, I know who Ali Marpet is. I know how he sets. I'm not trying to beat him today. I'm trying to beat Zach Martin. I'm trying to beat whoever these people are who I might be playing in the game. You set up your pass rush plan during the week. When you get out there to execute it, you stick to the plan. Have a plan, have a counter. We call it a fastball, and then you gotta have a counter. What is your fastball? Is it a chop? Is it a spin? Is it a side swipe? Is it a club rip? What is it? How do you set that up? Defensive line, D-tackle, pass rush, one-on-one. The square principle. Offensive guards don't like getting outside of their square. You gotta get them out of that square. The reason they're inside and protected by a center and a tackle is because they don't like moving in space.
They don't like being on island.
Exactly. But they like to stay in that square. We call it the square principle. Get them out of that square. You can do it with alignment. You can do it with your movement. You can do it with power. Whatever you got to do to get them out of that square. And then game day adjustments. We all make them. You had a plan. Oh, he's setting me different because I rush a certain way. So now he's setting me different. You got to dictate how they block you. And you do that by not deviating from your plan. You set up your plan different ways. I was a cross-chop guy. I knew some guys like to run from me, so I might have to delay my footwork for my cross chop. If I had a guy who liked to jump me, I'll loosen up a little bit to get him to bring me his hands right now. It's different ways to do it. So, but you can't do it you can't set it up on game day. It has to be start earlier in the week. Von Miller said he set up his go-to pass rush move in quarter number 1, but he knew he wasn't gonna use it till the 4th quarter when it mattered.
See, that's fire. Do you think maybe younger players don't have, like, obviously there's some players that are more mentally in tune with the game than others. Do you think that could be a specific area where maybe young defensive tackles maybe aren't thinking of it like that?
They're not. And, you know, Von Miller does a pass rush summit. I'm actually currently in the works of doing a D-tackle university. I'm going to teach. It's going to be open, and I'm working on it. I'm hoping I can have it this summer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach defensive tackles how to play football. Everything's about rush the passer, rush the passer, rush. It's so much more than that. Why ain't nobody able to stop Saquon? Why was the rush yards higher this year than they've ever been in NFL history? Because these coaches are so afraid of the RPO, they're teaching defensive linemen to sit at the line of scrimmage and play laterally so we can let these guys run.
Just kind of squat it down, right?
No, you kill, everything's lateral and zone side to side. Everything's zone rushing now. How do you kill zone and finesse with penetration? I'm not teaching that no more. I want to teach defensive tacklers how to use your hands. There's ways to shed. If I want to control your shoulders, why are my hands inside? Coach's team, get your hands inside. He's reaching me. If my hands are inside, he's going to wrap his hands around me. Now I lose control. If my hands on his shoulders, I can control which way I want them. Then I can shed and snatch. My hand might go to the back of his pad and I can snatch and come over the top. They don't know how to do all this stuff. Right. It's just be a D-tackle. Use your leverage. Stay low. There's so much more to it than that. And to your point, a lot of these guys don't know how to play the game. And I just want to do my part to help with, you know, guys doing that.
Dude, yeah. I hope you create that.
And it would be open to college and current NFL guys. I just want guys to learn, man, you know?
Right, because I think you understand being an interior trench guy, I never played at your level. I played center guard, so I love the battle. I love the technique within the game, right? Because we're gaming each other. A lot of people just see a bunch of big guys running into each other, but like you said, you've got to be smart in there, right? Because
Tom Brady
now
said defensive players are not smart.
and you mentioned
not if you want to be successful.
So you mentioned Trent Williams. One of the hallmarks of Trent, at least in my opinion, as being an O-line guy, he kind of plays O-line like a defensive lineman.
Yeah,
he sets you up, and then one of his signature moves when cutting off backside, he goes for a cross chop snatch because he's taking advantage of your leverage. And so,
where do you think he worked on that? He had to have a fast defensive tackle that he couldn't cut out, and he had to practice a technique to stop that person from getting in the B gap.
You're saying that's you?
I don't know.
Maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe the streets
Let's
are
say
saying
he had a lot of practice at it. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Hey man, I just gotta say I appreciate the insight, dog. Like I love talking trenches.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Any chance?
Yeah, no problem.